is making sure that I'm leaving. A few nights ago, I met someone who was getting divorced, and one sentence stayed with me. And he told me that when I'm home, I don't feel like a man anymore. That's when I realized that his story wasn't about divorce. It was about respect in relationships. So today we're going to have two sections. The first section is going to be how the respect slowly disappears. And the section 2 is how can you recover from this? How you can save your relationship or prevent this from happening. So number 1 is respect. So it's the foundation of every relationship. And then you've got to recognize the value of your partner. It's as important as well. And then you have to be able to disagree with your partner without making feel them small. And then you have to be able, you can dislike your partner's behavior or someone's behavior without disliking them as a person. So it's important to distinguish action and the identity. So when you criticize someone's actions, you are not criticizing his identity. Number 2 is effort becomes normal. So over the years, your partner's efforts become familiar. That happens to everyone. So working, providing, cooking, managing the house, taking care of the kids, and all sorts of responsibilities. Things that you once noticed now have become part of everyday life. Getting used to something isn't necessarily the problem. The danger is going from I'm used to what you do now to I'm entitled to it. So becoming normal something doesn't mean that it's worthless. Number 3 is gratitude disappears. You slowly stop noticing what your partner does. So 9 things done right is invisible, and 1 thing done wrong or forgotten is immediately noticed. And the worst remarks you can have is, of course you work, you are at home anyway. And responsibilities start being treated as they have no value because they are expected. And both of the partners can start to think, I do so much, and they don't even say it. So number 4 is devaluation. Now it's not just a lack of appreciation, is that you in a global sense, you are actively reducing the value of what your partner does. It's the sentence is, for instance, anyone can do that. That's the bare minimum. Imagine if you didn't even do that. Who says that to his partner? This is the worst sentence you can even say to someone. Imagine yourself saying, imagine if you didn't even do that. So consideration for what they do hasn't become invisible. It has become insignificant, which is different. Number 5 is nothing will be ever enough. So the expectations keep increasing, the appreciation keeps decreasing. So you hear these sentences, you work, but why don't you earn more? You help with something only because I asked you. You do something, oh, you didn't do it properly. So no matter what you do, your partner sees something missing in what you do. And eventually what you'll think is, it will never be enough no matter what I do. So number 6 is from actions to identity. This is an important shift. So before it was, I have a problem with what you did. Now I have a problem with who you are. And there starts the sarcastic comments, the humiliations, the eye rollings, the comparisons with other husbands and wives. So then you've got personal attacks on intelligence, competence, your masculinity, femininity, and appearance, your weight, and so on. And it's not anymore about having a problem with your actions, your behavior, but it's about who you are. Number 7 is emotional withdrawal. So one person may simply stop trying. Less talking, less explaining, less vulnerability, less affection, and he might want just to spend less time with this person, keeping a certain distance, and slowly anger becomes indifference. The partner thinks, what's the point of even trying? And usually what can happen is the person starts to grieve while they are in the relationship. The relationship can end emotionally long before it is officially ending. So I was about to record at another spot, and here I found this guy. He was like, what are you doing here? This is my place. Anyway, let's go back to our video. Now we are in this section 2. Number 1 is stop trying to find the solution for every problem. Not every problem needs a solution. Some problems need management. Sometimes you need to look for a compromise instead of changing the personality of the person, because sometimes it's not something you can fix. If you are an organized person and your partner is messy, you have to manage that with a compromise instead of trying to change the personality. So some problems need a solution and others need management. Number 2 is you have to identify the cycle. Instead of asking who started it, try to break your part of the cycle. Let's say there is criticism, then withdrawal, and then as there's withdrawal, you have more criticism, and then again, withdrawal, and it gets worse to a certain point. So at that time, you have to break your part of the cycle. So if the person withdrew, leave him alone. It's like a hot oven. You cannot cool it down, by just opening it, releasing the heat in the room, in the kitchen. Just keep it closed and it will cool by itself. Yeah, you have to break your part of the cycle, not the other person's. Number 3 is don't answer the complaint. Try to find the emotion behind it. Have you noticed that sometimes you are debating, arguing with someone, and you you give a response to his example, and it makes you look silly. So don't try to do that, but instead try to read through the lines. For example, if your woman says, you never spend time with me, is like, I don't feel important. When she says, for example, nothing I do is enough, is like, I don't feel like I'm enough for you. And if she says, you're always on your phone, it means I miss your attention. Don't try to answer the remarks or the criticism, but try to understand the emotions behind it. Number 4 is change, understand, and accept. 3 steps. So you should change the lies, the contempt, the disrespect, and irresponsibilities. So then understand the traumas that you have. That's important to keep going on life. Understand your insecurities and your past experiences. But then you should simply accept some of the, let's say, personality, temperament, or different ways of flowing. Some people are not expressive as much as others. So some things need to be changed, some other things need to be understood, and some other things just need to be accepted. Number 5 is trust behavior, not words. So you've heard this before, but it's really important. So one conversation changes nothing. I'm going to explain to you why. Because having a nice conversation, trying to understand each other, listen to each other, it relieves the pressure from the relationship. It feels good on the spot. But what really matters is what behaviors will change afterwards to improve and restore the relationship. So it's only repeated behavior that rebuilds trust. The same behaviors that destroyed the relationships. So you would need the same behaviors to rebuild that trust with one interaction at a time. And you have to trust the repeated behavior, not one conversation or repeated conversations that you have over and over again. So to conclude this video, I would say to you that love may start a relationship, but it is often respect that keeps it alive.